Can someone explain to me what's important around here? This is ridiculous. So we knew that as of last week, a bunch of area school districts had canceled school on Wednesday had the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. But then a few school districts were saying, you know what, even if the Chiefs win, we're having school, we've had snow days, and the kids, should be in the classroom. Now, if you want to take your kid out of school, that's your prerogative. But we're going to have school on Wednesday. Olathe was one of those school districts. Well, yesterday at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Olathe sent out an email to staff and families saying, we wanted to make you aware of an important change for this Wednesday, February 14th. As we approach the Super Bowl parade this Wednesday, we are unfortunately experiencing a significant strain on our system that is impacting staffing, student attendance, and transportation. While our hope as a school district was to communicate early and prioritize education by keeping our schools open as regularly scheduled, we are making the decision to cancel our planned half day of classes and conferences in Olathe Public Schools on Wednesday, February 14th. This will be a Plan A day as outlined in our inclement weather procedures, which means all district buildings will be closed and all facility rentals are also canceled. What an embarrassment. What an utter joke. Basically, they're saying they can't staff, is what it sounds like to me. They've got staffing issues. They've got already a bunch of kids who have said they're not going to school. And maybe they've got issues with bus drivers as well, calling in and saying, hey, I'm going to the parade. I'm not going either. In which case, isn't it the job of the school district at some point to say, no, you see, you have a job and your job is educating children and we have school that day and we've told parents and our communities that they are going to have school that day. So you got to teach the kids. Who is the priority here? And I say this as someone who's a Chiefs fan, who's a football fan, who you listen to me for 5 minutes. I'm not I don't care about that whole football thing. I know a lot of you are going to go to the parade, and I want you to have a blast. I want you to really enjoy yourself and have a great time. But because of how the weather has gone this year and the amount of days that have been canceled due to weather, snow, ice, cold, whatever it might be, you got to have the class open. You got to have school. And now we're just like, well, no one's going to show up anyway. So school's over, school's out, John. We'll catch you guys next week, by the way, because they're already off Thursday, Friday, and Monday for teachers' conferences and then President's Day as well.
Yeah, when I was in school, we'd wheel in a TV for something.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Now you're in school, and that's all the calendar and the state requirements. It doesn't say you have to learn to spell anything that day.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's a good point.
Right? Or we'll learn the I before E thing with the Chiefs, right? We'll do that spelling lesson and call it a day.
I'm glad you brought that up because I remember seeing things like that as a kid, right? Having people say, oh, yeah, they wheeled in the TV to watch a World Series parade, a Super Bowl parade, or things of that nature.
We used to have the playoffs in the afternoon back in the day. Playoffs, right? And the shop teacher would bring in a TV, right?
Yeah.
So afternoon baseball in junior high, middle school. All right.
Yeah.
Teacher's cool.
Gosh.
Right.
What are we doing? Get these damn kids in the classroom. And even if you're not teaching them something, you got the schools open, which you got to have, John.
Third grade, I had to watch Nixon's inauguration. And the repetitive Sara Lee commercials, all as 9-year-olds, we all got a kick out of the stupid jingle and singing it in between. The teacher was like, well, you were too young 4 years ago, and in 4 years you're going to be in 7th grade and you're going to be busy in school all day, so we're going to watch it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so saw Nixon's inauguration.
Jeez.
Yeah, complete with Sara Lee commercials.
Very vivid
Have
memory.
Not forgotten that.
Very, very vivid memory.
Everybody doesn't like something, but nobody doesn't like Sara Lee.
Oh, man. Now, Mark, your kids are in the district. Mine are too, but they are not, of course, of age yet. So when this news came down yesterday, your reaction as a parent in the district was?
I didn't care too much one way or the other. It was only going to be a half day anyway for my kids, so I didn't have strong feelings one way or the other. But just knowing that, a lot of the kids were going to be gone, and it is tough to maybe staff. So I'm not going to hate on the school district.
Well, but here's I get what you're saying. I see what you're saying. But if I may critique your opinion here for a second, the critique I have is not about the day itself. You're right. It's a half day. The day's a wash. It's about the principle here that basically people decided, you know what? I don't want to work. I don't care if the kids need me. I don't care if the kids have to be in school that day. I don't care if we have to make it up at the end of the year. The kids are not priority for me. I'm going down to the Chiefs parade and the kids be damned. And that's where it gets back to this whole idea that this is a system that no longer puts the well-being of the kids first. It puts the bureaucracy first. It puts the teachers' union first, and the kids fall in line somewhere after that.
That makes sense.
All right.
And I agree with that, too.
All right. We got him on board. Yeah. Woo! There we go.
As somebody who grew up in the district, I also remember the week before spring break, we'd watch Big 12 tournament games occasionally.
There you go.
Well, here's the thing.
Or Big 8 tournament
Be
games.
careful what you wish for. Yeah, Big 8. Next month, they're going to be saying, you know what? It's Big 12 tournament day. You guys all take off. Have yourself a great time. Head on down to Power and Light. Go check out that new Royal Stadium they're going to build down there at the old Star Building while you're at it. Yeah, just have some fun. It's like any reason and every reason to not be in the classroom is now something they want to do. So here are and I don't want to pick on Olathe because some of the other school districts canceled yesterday as well. So Olathe changed its plan this week. DeSoto changed its plan. Blue Valley changed its plan.
I blame Shawnee Mission because Shawnee Mission was the first, and then everybody else started trickling after that.
Well,
I don't know. KCMO's OG, I think.
Yeah, well.
Independence, too.
Yeah.
That's like who's in, right?
Yeah. Well, KCMO, you may learn more not being in school than being in school, but story for another day. Yes, you're right. Shawnee Mission, KCK, Leavenworth, they've all been closed. On the Missouri side, I mean, there's a whole laundry list. Independence, Kansas City, Liberty, Fort Osage, Green Valley, Blue Springs. We don't have to go through the whole thing. You know by now. But I just, and I hate to sound cocky is the wrong word, but I hate to sound, because we've had so many of these, right? Going back to the Royals, then you get now this is the third Chiefs one in 4 years. Like, we've done this before. If this was the first Chiefs Super Bowl in 50 years, a la 4 years ago, okay, fine. And I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but something tells me it's not going to be the last. The school districts have got to now figure out a way to build in snow days because they just cancel school now when it's cold. There's cold days, there's snow days, there's ice days, there's parade days, there's Big 12 tournament days. Like, what are we missing here? Anything else we're missing? Right? I mean, it's just ridiculous. President's Day. I mean, every other day it feels like it's a day off. You got conference days, you got this days, you got this awareness day, you got that awareness day. It's out of control. Spring break. When's that? Is that coming up?
Mid-March.
Oh, gosh.
A month away.
Oh, boy. 913-408-7957. It's just completely out of control. And at some point, I'd be calling up and saying, who's in charge here, number one? And number two, who are the priority? I can't figure it out. We'll get to you. We got Dave Traubert, bottom of the hour. And we're also giving away that Nyko Sports official Super Bowl football at 7:45, a half hour away. We'll do that on KCMO Talk Radio 95.7 FM. I mean, fire their asses. I don't know what else to say. You don't want to teach the kids? I mean, it's never about the kids anymore. It's not. If you're telling me that you're a teacher and you want to bail on the kids because you want to go to a parade, you're done. Some of you might say that's unfair. Well, teachers get to go to parades too. I can't go to the parade. I can't get down. I mean, I'm here till 10 o'clock tomorrow. I can't get downtown even if I wanted to go watch this parade. That's the job I chose. That's the line of work I'm in. I'm going to be here 6 to 10. I love being here. I want to be here, but sometimes it means there are other things that you can't do. I can't go to the parade. Boo freaking who. I'm not going to take off. I have an obligation, right, doing this show to be here on parade day and, doing my job. If I had a random office job, and I'm not knocking those, but if I had an office job where it was a little easier for someone to cover me if I were to bail out of work that day to go to a parade, then you know what? I might go. But I don't. I do this. So that means there are sometimes sacrifices you have to make. And I don't want to hear about, well, teachers deserve to go to parades too. Why?
They got homecoming.
Yeah. Someone tell me why. I don't want to hear it. I'm so sick of these damn systems caring more about everybody other than the kids. I'm sick of it. And I know that this is a small microcosm of that with these schools. Some of these schools, announcing yesterday, like Olathe and Blue Valley, that they were not going to have school tomorrow because they can't find the staffing to get people to work, to school for the parade day tomorrow. But it's ridiculous. And it's not so much about this issue. It's about the buildup of every little thing that continues to prove the system is not intended to put the kids first. 913-408-7957. Frank is on KCMO. What's happening, Frank?
Hey, Pete. I'm an employer. I have employees with children in the school districts. And yes, we can work remote. We're equipped to work remote. We don't mind working remote, except we're not as good as when we're working together in the office. There are ideas that get shared back and forth, office to office, that help us do a better job for our clients. This is more than just kids and teachers. This is community as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great point. So what are you expecting tomorrow?
I don't know. I haven't talked with them yet. I'm going to find out probably here in about 30 minutes and say, what's the plan? We've been out for how many days of snow coming up? We've got coming up this end of this week, parent-teacher conferences. Why don't you bring the kids to the office? We'll watch the parade on the flat screens.
Yeah, that's what we're saying there, Frank. Well done, my man.
You just got to roll with it.
That's exactly right.
It is disappointing. These are my tax dollars at work. They need to be in the doggone classrooms.
Mm-hmm. That's right. There you go there, Frank. I love it.
Well, the other solutions, why isn't it on Saturday?
Well,
right. This is all self-inflicted crap.
Well, I'm guessing, and I'm guessing the Chiefs are driving that because the city
still
is announcing they are starting the parade at 11 tomorrow instead of noon,
right?
In part because they want to clear out downtown for Valentine's Day. Because I guarantee you, a lot of restaurants downtown were bitching, rightfully so, about, hey, this is a big night for us, and people are going to avoid us because of the parade.
Nowhere to park,
so
etc.
I got to imagine, and I'll ask Quentin Lucas on Thursday, that the main driver of this date was the Chiefs and not the city itself. Because I guarantee a lot of restaurants are barking at the city saying, hey, we're going to lose out on customers on Valentine's because people are going to say, I'm not going downtown. It's going to be a madhouse. So I, for whatever reason, whatever's convenient for the team, I think that's what's going on. On the text line, Pete, my older brother goes to Blue Valley. And, that must mean that this is like a middle schooler texting us. All right, we're changing minds across Kansas City. Let's go. Woo! That is great if we have middle schoolers tuning in here on KCMO.
Show some RESPICT.
And he said there was a petition signed by 4,000 students to cancel school on Wednesday. Not sure if that dictated the decision, but just wanted to let you know. Well, thank you for that. Who knows? The inmates run the asylum everywhere else, so why wouldn't it be the case in the schools? Greg's in Shawnee. What's up, Greg?
Pete, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing well, my man. How are you?
I'm a redneck from way upstate New York. Lived there 19 years shoveling snow. It took an act of God for them to close schools when I was going to school. Graduate of 82, so I'm old. But it's hard to believe that these schools out here, if it looks like it's cold, they have every reason in the world to shut these schools down. And I couldn't agree with everybody that's called in so far that it's absolute you-know-what.
Yep.
Period.
Yep. Thank
That's
you,
my
Greg.
rant.
Yeah, I love it, Greg. I love it. Hey, and Tirade Tuesday's an hour away. So start thinking about that. We might have some tirades against the schools at 8:30 this morning on KCMO. It's your chance to tee off on whatever you want.